bringing what many have described as a new twist to the political events in Rivers State as 17 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, all elected under the banner of the People's Democratic Party, have defected to the All Progressives Congress. The move was led by Speaker Martins Amaewhule. They cited internal divisions within the PDP and a desire to join hands with the president as reasons for their move.
Distinguished colleagues, very happily, let me announce to honorable members that your Speaker, Right Honorable Martin Amaewhule, has decided and has indeed written to my ward chairman. I've written to my ward chairman, Mr. Osondolo. There's the PDP ward chairman, Obiakpo Ward 1, of my decision to leave the People's Democratic Party. Distinguished colleagues, APC is my new party. I will do all that is needed to be done towards ensuring that the party card of the All Progressive Congress is issued to me in no time. But as I speak,
thanks for that clarity on the video. But then again, it is what it is. The PDP has kicked back hard, calling the defection a betrayal of the people's mandate. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, a key PDP figure and former Rivers governor, called the defection unfortunate, but says lawmakers acted within their constitutional rights. Joining us for this discussion is a member of the People's Democratic Party, all the way from the Federal Capital Territory. Mr. Anthony Ehilebo joins us this morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Anthony. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. What does one make of this fresh defections? Because we've seen this happen before in the state, which led to a full political crisis till it was recently resolved. Is this fresh fallout really as a result of unresolved tensions and crisis in the People's Democratic Party itself, or is there a different motive? Okay, I think we have a little audio connectivity challenge there. So, Mr. Anthony, I'm going to beg you to please just remain with us. We'll come back to you to carry out this conversation. It's a very interesting one. But let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. We have our guest who's joining us, Mr. Anthony Ehilebo. He is a PDP member, and we're looking at the big conversation. It's time, and the time is now. What will the PDP do? Will they take fresh actions, or will they just let it slide, as you have members of the Rivers State House of Assembly who are firmly confirmed and have decided to leave the party? Thank you once again for joining us. We did see information that the PDP says it will take legal action. Can you shed more light on what the PDP has resolved to do?
Well, thank you very much. If you remember, this was a matter that these same lawmakers had denied and probably led whilst in court a few months ago, and almost degenerated into a scenario where allegedly Mr. President had to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. And for 6 months, the people of Rivers State were left without representation from the various local governments where this, or state constituencies where this House of Assembly members are from. The matter that is before us here is one that really tests the very foundation of our democracy, where you have people who are elected on a particular platform. Look, I'm an electorate. I vote actively, and I voted for the last 20 years. So imagine if I'd gone to my constituency, my state constituency, and said, I don't like APC. I'm going to vote for PDP. And I vote for someone vying under the umbrella of the PDP, for instance. And that person is meant to represent the mandate of the PDP. And then within a few months, because someone else, a political godfather or whatever, says move, he moves without even taking into consideration the intention of the voter. Most voters vote with where they believe, or for parties they believe will carry out a purpose for them. So if the purpose for my voting is not resident in the character and ambience of the All Progressive Congress, why then will a member who I have voted for under the PDP take that mandate and go to the APC? The honorable thing to do, and which is best practice in democracy, is for that person to resign from the State House of Assembly and then maybe contest under the party that he so wishes. But we've seen these people without any reason, without any cause that is meaningful. They are not moving because they feel the interest of their people. None of them is talking about the interest of the people they represent. Let's be very clear about this. And this is where it really defeats the purpose of democracy, where people carry mandates and travel with them as if they are their personal. Those people didn't give themselves the mandate. Most they did for themselves was one vote they cast for themselves. The rest of the votes, cum laude, was given to them by people under the mandate of a particular political party. Now, the PDP is going to go to court, no doubt. There's no division in the PDP. The alleged division was created by their puppet master. You saw him a few days ago constituting a BOT. There was the BOT of PDP holding FCT. Has he ever held in the FCT conference room? This man is making a mockery of our democracy. And then he has people who enable it. House of Assembly members who should ordinarily voice the concern, who should protect the interests of their constituents, have not done that. All I've heard from them is that they are standing on a mandate, they are declaring support for a president, just like it's happening in my state, where the governor is gyrating at every turn he finds himself in Edo State. So the campaign wishes or desires were not yet in 2027. But these people are all gearing up for an election when they haven't even served the people. They forget, this particular House of Assembly, 17 members forget that for 6 months, they were out of function. And prior to that, that house was riddled with a lot of problems. So right now, they're further making this more difficult for people to understand what exactly they are doing. It's really sad where we are as a country. It's unfortunate that our democracy is going through so much turmoil because of selfish and self-centered politicians.
So the question
I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes,
we can. We can.
I'm hoping we can also get some clarity because it's a bit confusing, like you mentioned. These are the same people who denied defected initially. So what must have changed between then and now? You're also saying that there isn't an issue within the PDP. So is this some sort of house cleaning that's happening? And what does this imply in the nearest possible future for the strength and the internal cohesion within the People's Democratic Party?
Well, again, it goes back to one man. And this is where some of us are very disappointed, Mr. President, because he enables, he aids this particular person to carry out this nefarious and very dastardly attack on democracy. How can one man, how can one person determine the fate of his state, determine the state of a party that is national, and hold it to ransom because he wants to perpetuate someone in power beyond 2027? This, to me, is a cause for reflection on Nigerians. And is this what we want to continue? Look, all around us, in Guinea-Bissau just a few days ago, Nigeria had to be intervening, Equatorial Guinea, we had to be intervening in a purported coup. Benin Republic 2 days ago had its own day. We need to take lessons from this. And we need people to believe in our democracy. Because all you see happening are little bite sizes that make up a credible opening for the devastation of our democracy. And that's the main issue here, is that this democracy that we have, we've sustained it, the Fourth Republic, we've sustained it for getting to 20-something years now. We need to have it last longer. The development we've seen within this period has surpassed what we've had in the military. And we therefore know that democracy is the best way forward. But the practitioners of this democracy must understand that there are rules, and you cannot continue taking people for granted. There is nothing that justifies what is happening. We all know, and we must tell ourselves the truth. It is one man who has decided that he's just going to play ping pong with the lives, with the aspirations, with the wishes of the people of Rivers State. And this is very unfortunate. This is very unkind. This is very immoral. How do you purport to carry the mandate that was given to you from one political party to another party without doing the honorable thing? These members of House, how many laws since the House of Assembly of Rivers State was constituted 2-3 years ago in 2023? How many laws have they passed? How have they affected the lives of their constituents? They keep, either they are fighting or they are being suspended or there's a state of emergency that has been imposed on them for 6 months. They have not really delivered the dividends of democracy. How then can you tell someone that democracy is better than any alternative form of governance? How can you tell someone from a constituent in Rivers State that it's better for him to have democracy? He has no reason to believe so. Because if he had any complaint, let me even give an instance. The governor had said he was going to present the budget. This current speaker meets and moves sitting to the 26th of January. It doesn't make sense. Rivers people must wake up and ask the people that are representing them that, is this what we asked you to do? They have been playing politics rather than delivering governance, rather than delivering legislative assistance or legislative responsibility, delivering on that mandate that was given to them by the people. It's sad. It's a reflection that our democracy is going nowhere. We're nowhere fast with this democracy. And then there's a certain connivance with the judiciary. The matter of the state of emergency that was declared in Rivers State was never heard by the Supreme Court. Was never heard till today by the Supreme Court. It then means that the several arms of governance, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive are complicit. And they do not understand the implications of these things on the mentality of people when it comes to them. If you go on the streets today and you tell or ask an average Nigerian, do you rather democracy or the military come back? You'll be very shocked at the answer they will give you. And this is all as a result of the several uncouth, unnatural progression of political actors, such as those that are in Rivers State, who would rather, and you know, it's not the first time. It's been consistent with the.
I'd want us to unpack as many things as we can in the little time we have left. I want to really ask you if you think, you've spoken your mind and you think the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly are wrong to have defected, but would you deny that there is a serious internal crisis and fractionalization at the national level in the People's Democratic Party? I also want to ask you what you make of Governor Siminalayi Fubara's silence. He hasn't spoken about this issue. Do you take it as consent, or is being very careful, remembering how things played out the last time we heard of a purported defection from members of the State House of Assembly?
That's a word I want to use to describe what those things at this point. Just add a P to his neck, or probably a cash. But he's been assaulted from beyond reproach. He's been emasculated. When someone has had everything done to him, he's been removed for 6 months. And Ibas, a former military man, put as a sole administrator in his state, an illegality that was foisted on him. How do you remove a governor that has immunity? If all of these things have happened to him, do you think that man will be capable of putting up a fight? He cannot, and that's the complicity of the president. That's the complicity. 200, 300, just 100 that were returned yesterday were kidnapped from Niger State. No state of emergency was declared. Kids were kidnapped in Kebbi State. No state of emergency was declared. But because there's a political machination, you declare state of emergency. It's, these things are clear for the blind to see. And as with regards to PDP, let's be very clear. The PDP has had its convention. The PDP has elected national officers. And the courts, unless they want to do their maybe unusual abracadabra, I do not see how the courts will reverse a convention that within the legal framework which needs to happen is you send a notice to INEC for 21 days. That notice was sent from a duly constituted NEC meeting, where both the chairman and the secretary signed that notice in front of all NEC members. And that notice was given to INEC there and then at the NEC meeting, because INEC was invited to that meeting. So the due process of constituting a convention was followed. So there's no doubt that the Turaki-led PDP is a legally and duly constituted NWC. Now, for someone to sit in his office, a minister of the Federal Republic, and to use his office, a public space, which is not a political party space, to start constituting a so-called BOT. You know, these are the things that we need to tell Mr. President, that democracy is not to be toyed with. He sees what is happening all around him. We are very worried. We're very concerned that the more he continues to allow this to happen, the more he degrades the capacity of our democracy to withstand the tides and storms that are coming. They are going to come. We've already had rumors in the last 3 months of a purported or alleged coup plot. Please, this message must go to the president and those that handle him, that he needs to handle this issue of PDP with caution. He needs to handle it with care, because the PDP handed over power in 2015 under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to the APC when they lost an election. We need democracy to continue with the norms and values that are imputed into it. We borrowed this sort of governance from the West, and we see how they conduct their affairs. Elections are not said to be free and fair. Can you call what happened in Edo free and fair? Can you call the machinations that are happening, different court orders trying to strangle and emasculate PDP, and then you now create a scenario where you say there's division in PDP? There's no division. The BOT of the PDP remains intact. The NWC of the PDP remains intact. So there's no division anywhere. So for anybody to sit down and try to say, do you want to say that if I feel the APC, I gather 20 people and say I've constituted the neck of the APC, then there's division in APC? That doesn't follow. What follows is, if you look at the setup, the combination or the constitution of a political party that says this is how you convene the highest decision-making body of the party, which is the convention. And that convention says to you, we have expelled so and so people. It cannot be reversed. It is irreversible. It's a done deal. It's a fait accompli. That's done. All those people who gather together and say they are forming the NEC, it doesn't make any sense. They are not NEC members. They don't even have the bureaucracy of PDP. The bureaucracy of PDP has gone with the original and only constituted National Working Committee of the party. The former chairman, Ambassador Ilya Damagun, officially has handed over to this set constituted NWC. So what are we talking about? There's no division. If they want division and they hope they can create this division, well, good luck to them. At the end of the day, we will all bear the consequences of the mutilation of our democracy. I don't know if that was clear.
Yes, it was. It was. I mean, your points are clearer. But like we would want to believe, it will be nice to also hear from the members of the assembly who have decided to jump ship. But this is a conversation we'd like to continue. But in the meantime, we want to say thank you so much for taking our time to speak with us. And please do avail us your time when we come back calling. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.